Okay, this is my Sondors e-bike, which I've had maybe a month now. I'm in the New Jersey area, and you can see I've shown it a little love. I'm not doing a full review on the bike. I wanted to talk about the LCD screen and the controller that I just added last night. Took the time to do it, and maybe just a little bit of the features as to why you would want to spend the money on the LCD screen and the separate controller, which is in this compartment. I'll show that in a second. That may require a separate video just to kind of ease the anxiety of doing that work yourself. I know read online that basically everybody says you need this, and the power assist modes are the real benefit for that. It's hard to understand what exactly it does for you, how that works. So basically, when you buy the bike, you have a throttle here that you push with your finger, obviously my other hand, and there are 3 speeds that you get with the throttle. What the power assist mode does is there are 5 different modes that as you're pedaling, the bike senses your spinning of the gear here, and depending on the modes, 5 being the most power assist and 1 being the least amount, it will start up the motor. Now, how it does that, and I want to point this out because I actually ran into an issue with this, and a couple of the online forums were very helpful. Okay, I'll just go around this way. How it does this is right in here. You see that smaller wheel right here? You can see three metal discs. Well, there's actually 6, maybe 8. I forget what that is. And then over here, you can see, if I can get it right, see that little black sensor. So that is a magnetic sensor. And what it does is as you're pedaling, as you would expect, sorry to move back around again, that disc, oh, there you go, that's the better idea. That disc is going to spin. The magnet will read the metal from that disc, and it'll know you're pedaling, and it'll figure out how fast you're pedaling. So why I wanted to point this out is when I first did the power assist, I thought I had something wrong. And what was really happening is this disc, I won't touch it, but it's actually very flexible. It's like almost like a composite material, and it needs to be perfectly flat, like in line with the main sprocket gear of the bike. So mine was a little off, and as you can see, as this is spinning, this thing here I'm talking about, it's spinning. If some of these discs become too far away from the sensor, it'll miss them. And it turned into a pulsing mode. My bike was doing a pulse, and I didn't know if that was normal or not, but I figured out that that wasn't. So literally just with my fingers, just straightened out that thing, and it worked. So too much on that already. So Sondors does sell an LCD screen. Theirs has the logo on it. I think internally there are some minor differences to it. The screen purchase comes with the screen, this 3-button controller. And then, as I said, for $100, we get back off the bike now. For $105, there's a combo pack, and so that's the battery. This metal box here is the 20 amp. There's a 20, 25, there's larger. I think the 20 and 25 fit in the box. But I replaced this. So by replacing this, it allowed me to utilize the third-party LCD controller. There's some other benefits with that. I don't know exactly what you get with the Sondors default, but I know I have like a separate wire now here to plug in the headlight control, which I will be doing that. So I got that all wired in. Did that last night. Still haven't gotten to the features of this thing, have I? Alright, this is scene 2 of the video. I was going to do this all in one cut, but just as I was pulling out before a neighbor pulled up in their car and started chatting with me. Anyway, to get this going and show the power assist modes and what the screen does for you, first off we have to turn the traditional throttle on. Now, this will be surprising, but it's not working there. Well, that's because you need to actually turn the LCD on. This just tripped me up for a couple minutes last night, because after I got the new controller, which is that silver box inside the bike, got that installed, I went to test the wiring, and I was a little dismayed when this didn't go. but then I realized you have to plug in the LCD. So there's 3 buttons here. They are connected to the LCD. The LCD is connected to the bike. You push the middle button and the power goes on. So right in the middle here, we'll call out the mile per hour, which can be adjusted to kilometers. The total miles, this is just from today. I've had the bike a month now, but again, I just got this installed last night. The temperature, pretty accurate. Surprised that it's even there. The motor item is cool because it shows you the draw wattage that you're pulling from the bike, you know, real time. As you're going up hills and things, you'll see the number spike to 2, 3, 100 watts. Obviously a battery indicator. This is travel, a ride time, and which I need to know more about that. And then the power assist mode. So you can, if I hit this throttle right now with this on, the bike will jolt and go. I don't want to do that because I'm sitting on it and I'm not ready to go. But consider it as like an override mode. Over here you have these lower and upper bottom buttons. Change that power assist level. So 1 is the least amount of power assist, 5 is the most. So if you remember, we were talking about that little disc that had tripped me up, that had the metal sort of eraser sized, pencil eraser sized metal disc on it, and it reads it. The computer will take your setting here, figure out how fast you're pedaling and that you even are pedaling, and come up with an amount of energy to send to the motor on the bike. And you'll see this wattage change as we ride. So 2 is on the lower end of support. I'm sorry, power assist. 3, pretty much in the middle, as you would guess, and 5 is the most. And it does increase the speed of the bike. So right now, we're not going anywhere because I'm not pedaling and I'm not hitting the throttle. So we have a nicely paved long street here on our block. So I'm gonna do a little, don't do this at home, kids, but I'm gonna ride for just a little bit with just one hand so I can hold the my video phone here. But what's gonna happen here is as I kick up and start pedaling, that sensor is gonna read that I am pedaling, and you'll hear the motor kick going. Now my neighbor's working in his yard. You can hear some music going, so we'll hear that too. Oh, and there goes a plane. Perfect timing. I want to do this so that we have a shot at hearing the motor kick in. Oh, one other thing, since we're stalling for time here. That little indicator going off and on, that is actually the brakes. So the 2 brakes have a cable into the controller, and if you were to order the the Velo, and probably Luna has them, the third-party brake light and headlight kit, this is how they know to turn the back brake light on. All right, I'm going to start now. I'm on 3 here. Now listen. There it goes. I hope you heard that. Give a little rubbing in my front tire. So I'm on mode 3. I'm going to turn it down to 2. Now, the thing to watch too in the middle is that we're not really changing number. It's got 120 now. That is the pull. The wattage being pulled out of the battery. If I stop pedaling, the shape goes down to 0. Start pedaling, it senses that disc is spinning, it's reading the little metal wheel spinning around. It's saying, okay, let's send this guy some function. Now what's interesting, what's cool is that when I get out of this neighborhood here, there's a lot of hills on the streets. And it figures out that, hey, I'm going downhill, I'm not pedaling, I'm going to shut the power off the battery. When I'm going uphill, I'm just trying to maintain a speed, not necessarily cruise control, just trying to maintain a speed and keep the power going, and I'll see that number. So that they shoot up pretty high. So this is how when people say you get 12, 15 miles out of the stock battery, you can use the power assist mode, which compared to 20, I guess. Well, that's because as you're pedaling with power assist mode, you're adding your own human power to it, and then it's smart enough to fill in the voids for the base. So I think I covered everything. You really can't believe how many takes I did to get these 2 videos. Enjoy. This is a really worthwhile addition to the video.